Hi everyone, long time no video. I thought I would pop in and just show you what I am doing for February's planner. This is not a plan with me. This is just a planner flip, I guess you would say. So basically, like many of my inserts for my planner, I use the basically like the standard size, um, but I made it all myself. So there's no company brand name to give you. Anyway, so like most of my inserts, it does start with an old painting. This was just a painting, believe it or not, done on this like school paper, lined school paper. So that originally that's what this paper was, but it's just been heavily painted and it's been hanging around for years. I even used it as the cover of one of my zines that I created. But eventually I got tired of it hanging out in the studio, so I used it, cut it down and used it for my planner. So this is February. I am in volume number 21. Um, when I started this experiment, I really didn't think I would stick with using my bullet journal like this for a long time, but I actually have. And I did consider giving it up and just going back to using my art journal, but I go through art journals so quickly that I would sometimes go through an art journal before the whole month was over. So trying to use that as my planner, it wasn't going to work. So I'm still using this type of insert planner system. And again, just like usual, I do use like a lot of magazine images and things of that nature. I've been trying to get rid of the scraps that are hanging out in my studio. Um, so this particular month and next month is just heavily using up scraps. So most of these pages were created in my scrappy journal style. So I just glued a whole bunch of stuff together and then cut it down to fit the size of a planner insert. So none of this, there's like not an underlying solid piece of paper. This is all just stuff glued together. You might even say it's kind of like a glue book, but not really, in truth, because I do paint and create art and stuff in it. And, for me anyway, a lot of the times when I think about a glue book, I think of it strictly as, mostly just being a glue book, if that makes sense. Anyway, so I'm just going to flip through the rest of this. On some of these pages, there was, just like not a clear place where I could write, so I just used a little bit of gesso and just gessoed an area. But on many of them, I just have a few things that I write in, appointments I have to go to, small to-do lists. I'm not big on creating like giant lists of things and then, slowly marking them off. I will lose the list or forget about it. So I tend to just stick with small things. In a couple of these areas, I, you know, ended up in the gluing together process of having some kind of a pocket. So I just took leftover scrapbook paper and used that to create a place where I can put my daily things for that day. I also really like to use the perfume inserts, at least one, if I can, in each of these inserts because they make the whole thing smell nice. Now, I know if it was a smell I didn't like, that would be, different. Another thing that I have done in the past is, which I'm not sure you can tell, yeah, you can kind of see it there, I think. I take those little wax burners, the little round wax things that you put in the little burner. I will buy them in a smell that I really like. This one is pine scented, and I will just rub it on, kind of like what you would do with wax if you were trying to wax a page. And the scent just stays for a super long time. So when I'm flipping through the pages, I'll get a hint of that smell, of that fresh pine smell. Anyway, and I don't know which perfume this is. Chanel, Chanel number 5. Ah, there you go. So, um, but on occasion, if I have like a little doodle or a piece of paper hanging out and I glue it in there, I'll just continue to sort of, doodle around it, that type of thing. Some of this stuff is marked out because it's none of your business. um, and little pieces of things that I drew for other reasons and they're just hanging out in the studio, just cut them up and glue them in and get rid of them. Um, it's usually my favorite thing to do, more so than um, like gluing stuff on is that like flips out or whatnot. I just glue it right in there. Let's see, we're almost done. Again, another little place that I had to create because this was such a busy page. Same thing here. I just wanted a little spot where I could write a few to-do items, and that's it. That's the end of February. February is a pretty short month. And then I do already have March done, but I think I'll save that one for a flip through in the beginning of March. Okay, so I hope you, I guess, enjoyed seeing what I'm using this month. I do have a lot of extra pages in this particular month. In fact, the month doesn't even start until here, so all of these pages are extra. But I do find I do a lot of stuff where I'm running around taking notes about something. So I find these kind of pages a great little place where I can add some little notes. And I like to add just little things that pop into my head. So sometimes it's a saying, sometimes it's just me being silly. I was watching a movie and this was all I had hanging out. So I tend to doodle and that type of thing in here as well. All right, that's it for me. I'll see you guys later. Thanks so much for watching.